And with LeBron James entering into free agency, now we're going to get to the part where Dave McMenamin sits down, presenting past issues that were lightly perceived as slight. There was a game ball given out to JJ Redick for winning his 100th game, even though in that same day, Luka Dončić passed 15,000 points, and also Rui Hachimura exceeded 5,000 points. But Pelinka gave the game ball to JJ Redick. LeBron James perceived that as slight. That's a very interesting short leash that a superstar player has with a legacy franchise like the Lakers. Stick around, this is going to be good, because at the end of this segment, Dave McMenamin is going to have a back and forth with a co-host who in his mind believes that the Lakers should move off of LeBron. Dave McMenamin is going to let him know how Klutch really feels about Luka trying to lead the Lakers to a championship. You guys check it out, and every once in a while, I'll check in.
So we're talking about March 31st.
Yes, sir.
Lakers beat the Cavs.
Mm-hmm.
It completes what ends up, we don't know, but at this point, in retrospect, they've now gone 16-2 over a 32-day stretch. And in this game against the Cavs, LeBron James, most wins in NBA history combined, regular season.
And against the Cavs.
And against the Cavs, right?
Mm-hmm.
15,000 points for Luka Dončić for his career, 5,000 points for Rui Hachimura, and it secures back-to-back 50-win seasons and 100 wins in J.J. Redick's coaching career. So in the post-game locker room, J.J. Redick doing a good job and kind of recognizing this group accomplishment is listing off all the things that were done by his team that day.
Mm-hmm.
And as J.J.'s addressing the room, Rob Pelinka takes his turn to address the room, is holding the game ball, and presents it to J.J. Redick. Shortly thereafter, LeBron James, who, of course, he arrives to the arena wearing like an outfit and then showers and changes and stuff and leaves in that outfit. Well, this night was still in the practice shorts, ice bags on his knees, slide sandals on his feet.
And he walked right out.
Walks out.
By the way, Dave McMenamin here on the Rich Eisen Show talking about his piece that's on ESPN.com that's kind of burning up the entire NBA community, certainly here in Los Angeles, California, live on the Rich Eisen Show. So LeBron James walked out with bags of ice on his knees? Or took those off and left? Do we know that?
No. I mean, I saw it with my own two eyes. The bags of ice were still on his knees. And so this is like,
he's just out.
So to be clear,
I'm
this
out.
isn't because he doesn't think J.J. Redick is deserving of a moment. It's not about that at all.
Yes.
He has a great relationship
And it
with
was a
J.J.
beautiful moment. The video of his children
Yes.
saying, "Congratulations, Dad."
Right.
Beautiful moment.
It was taken by LeBron to be another example of the Lakers not appreciating him.
And that completely sounds like LeBron. You got to read the room with him. Oh, LeBron's upset. He just walked out with bags of ice on his knees. Again, the thing with the Laker organization, they're used to having stars. And LeBron being from small town Akron, where they cater to their stars, almost like a god. It's just the Laker building, they're so used to it. And not only there's a new sheriff in town, we got to take a look at the new owners. How do they feel about this current Lakers team, knowing that they have an impending 10-year Supermax contract to give out to Luka? In order to win in today's NBA, teams have to spend money. And the Lakers' brand new owner, he borrowed a lot of Saudi and private equity in order to buy that team. With that said, them just only being a year out from buying the team, we really haven't seen them make moves like that, even though Luka's in his prime.
Where does that come from?
I think it's from an 8-year relationship that has had a lot of stuff build up. Now, I asked LeBron after Game 4 against the Thunder. He's making the same route out of the arena. Mm-hmm. This time he's wearing regular clothes.
Okay, good. Yeah.
He's wearing the same clothes he arrived in.
Right.
And I said, in order for you to come back to play for the Lakers, I understand you're going to have to figure out whether you want to play. I understand you're going to have to both sides will have to figure out what the money. But that aside, is there any static that needs to be cleared up in order for this to move forward? And he said, there's no static from me. I would say that perhaps that means that even though he had this moment, That was a real moment of indignation, is what he felt.
Yeah.
It's not something he can't get over in order to keep playing for the Lakers.
Right.
But the Lakers, you're dealing with one of the best players of all time. Where he goes on the list, that's up for debate. But
9th if you saw First Take the other day.
Now, interesting thing, Dave said that as if they don't have at least 7 to 8 to 10 players that could arguably say, hey, we're also great. Guys like Magic Johnson, Elgin Baylor, Shaquille O'Neal, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Kobe Bryant, Jerry West, James Worthy. The list goes on and on and on and on. The Lakers are very similar to the New York Yankees. No one's bigger than the fucking program.
And also someone who has now worked for you for 8 years, been the face of the franchise, delivered a championship, all of those things.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ever going to make the guy feel like you want him?
Now, that's a very interesting statement coming from Klutch Sports client Dave McMenamin. Didn't the Lakers go ahead and draft his son? Also making that trade for Russell Westbrook, which even left Jeanie Buss coming out of her personal pocket.
Is any of this born out of the fact is how he found out about the Luka trade?
I haven't been told that specifically.
Okay.
LeBron has on the record said that, of course, if that trade comes across your desk, you make it.
Right.
He understands it as close as he is with Anthony Davis and is to this day. No, I don't really think it's more about once the trade occurred, the way the Lakers went about their business.
Now, that right there could mean two different things. Either how they treated LeBron once they got Luka, or the fact that after they got Luka, the Lakers just basically coasted. Once again, the Buss family has sold the team, and ever since they landed their big fish, the roster moves kind of been a little bit stagnant. I'm not going to lie. You already know Austin Reeves has an impending contract. He's not a fast wing player. You know your franchise guy needs help when it comes to that, especially defensively. So to enter into the following season with the same damn roster is crazy. I don't know how the hell Rob Pelinka pulled that off without the media saying nothing. We talking about Luka's in his prime right now. He's in his prime. And the way he struggles with his weight sometimes is not even guaranteed he's going to be in the proper position to maintain that shape.
Can they know which are the accolades that matter and which don't? I'm like, I don't know, maybe, but this one, the most wins in all time, that seems to be like one that you might want to underline.
And and you get it against the Cavs
and against the Cavs.
What happens now? Like, what's the orders of business here for Rob Pelinka and the Lakers, since you say that whatever did happen on that night is something that can be bridged for LeBron to still play here? What's
number one is the Lakers are going to give LeBron the time that he needs to decompress from the season.
And that's heard where Rob said that yesterday.
Right. And determine whether he wants to play or not.
Yes.
My inclination, and also kind of the way he managed the other night, is that he will want to come back and play.
And that should come by no surprise. LeBron James and all his business ventures are out in LA. Matter of fact, his net worth has doubled ever since he started that venture out there with the Lakers. So it's been good business for Jeanie Buss, the new owners, as well as LeBron James. And the cherry on top is going to be that farewell tour with all the ticket sales, jerseys. That is a big cash cow waiting to happen. Don't be surprised if down the line we eventually see a lot of the behind the scenes similar to The Last Dance on Netflix.
I mean, the tone that LeBron was giving after Game 4 against OKC was not, you just saw me play my last NBA basketball game.
I didn't get that sense either.
Yeah. So that part, okay, let's assume. Now, we can't assume because you got to allow him to have his process, but like our hunch would be that he's going to come back. And then you have to figure out, it's not necessarily just the number. The number matters. The number matters based on the value that he brings. It matters on a respect level, but also, as I reported, an agent tell me, and this someone who has had clients on the Lakers in the last decade, does not represent LeBron James, but said, all right, you got to give LeBron James a number and you got to give him a why behind the number.
Facts. And that right there, I believe the number could even be a minimum contract if Rob Pelinka constructs a team that can possibly go after a championship. I know it sounds crazy. You're probably thinking, what, LeBron's 41, about to be 42 soon? But just like in my previous segments, in regards to this situation, Rich Paul and Max Kellerman has alluded to multiple times that LeBron James feels that he's more impactful at this point of his career when it comes to winning than Luka is. At the very end of this segment, we're going to hear McMenamin display those exact sentiments. But for those of you who are watching the visual version, as you can see, for 2027, the Lakers have about $117 million to spend this offseason before they hit the second apron. Keep in mind that excludes LeBron James' salary, Austin Reeves not opting out of his deal yet, which he probably will, and the Lakers still having to fill a bunch of players in between, a bunch of established guys. They don't really have young draft picks that are on the come up, that's been on the team for 2 or 3 seasons. A lot of the mistakes Rob Pelinka has done in the past, it's looking like it's going to force Austin Reeves, if he wants to stay, to take a pay cut. And on top of all that, Luka is going to be eligible to opt out of his deal a year early and qualify for that 10-year Supermax contract that can basically earn him well over $80 million a year. That's just Luka alone. I repeat, he could be making well over $80 million a year. So you see where the conundrum is for these brand new owners that spent well over $10 billion using Saudi money and private equity. They're going to want their return on investment, maybe not necessarily being aligned with building a championship team where you're paying well over $150 million a year just in luxury tax.
And if that number is under market value, then you got to say, we want you to take X because we plan to do Y with those extra dollars. And like, if for a guy who claims to be about winning and says that that is something that continues to fuel him, that should fall on a receptive ear. And I think you look back to the negotiations of 2024, LeBron James took a pay cut. It was minor, but he did take a pay cut to help the Lakers get out of the second apron restrictions. And he would have taken a larger pay cut had the Lakers been able to convince someone like a James Harden, Jonas Valanciunas, or Klay Thompson at the time to take the money that he would have left on the table.
Hey, right there, David McMenamin confirms it. LeBron James would have took a pay cut had Rob Pelinka actually present something that made sense, something of substance. And unfortunately, he did not. He struck out on all those facets. The Klay Thompson signing. Like I said, Norman Powell was out there for cheap. Pat Riley picked him up. There's always options. And if you really believe in Luka especially, you will maximize that prime window right now. But once again, there's new ownership, and you factor in Rob Pelinka is a Jeanie Buss hire, which is sometimes really that family and friends hookup. And he hasn't really proven that he's a solid GM to bring the Lakers to the promised land. He has not proven that at all. So
who's on the list of the player?
That's a great question. I don't know that yet. And I didn't know about, Jonas and James and Klay till much further along in the conversation. And again, these things were May 13th or something like that. These are conversations that probably should happen around the draft in late June.
Well, Austin Reeves is one of them, right?
Oh, yeah, LeBron loves playing with Austin Reeves.
Right, and you could see that.
Yeah.
You could see that,
Yeah.
and obviously Luka's going to be there. And if I'm the Lakers, I want to see these 3 guys together.
Now, those are interesting statements about Austin Reeves because Rich Paul has alluded to multiple times in that whole podcast venture with Max Kellerman that Austin Reeves should have been traded elsewhere for additional pieces to put around Luka. Once again, I'll link that in the description below.
But how do you put this all together, and who's the one who decides? Is Jeanie still,
Jeanie's,
full thumb on the scale here? New management, because this is a lot of money we're talking about committing, a lot,
right?
And also, Jeanie knows better than anybody about what it means to have somebody of LeBron's stature retire, and the Lakers do the Lakers thing by rolling it out. Like, you want to talk about respect, I mean, they will roll it out for him if that's what LeBron wants, don't you think? I mean,
right. So we're not totally sure whether. I had a couple people close to LeBron suggest to me this year that I know other guys have done the retirement tour. That might not be what LeBron wants. Now,
Really?
I'll believe it when I see it, quite frankly, but the people who told me it would have the authority to know that came right from LeBron's mouth.
Now, right there, LeBron James saying that he might not want a farewell tour. That's really money out of the Lakers' mouths. A situation like that, I wouldn't be shocked if he feels slighted and he'll take his farewell tour with another franchise. And that's a huge revenue generator right there. So it could be one of the many pieces that LeBron James is trying to leverage in order to get a new deal with the Lakers.
Now, I had Kobe Bryant tell me that straight from the horse's mouth.
Right.
In 2013. I did the first interview with him after the torn Achilles.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked him about, you look at the end, he said, I don't want a retirement tour. And then lo and behold, in 2016, he had one. So